what happens so often is that we have this major disconnect within the mind and the body. And I always say, like, you have to come home to her, right? This disconnect happens because of something or multiple things that you kind of go through, and it just keeps pushing you further and further away. It's always getting to, like, the root of the issue and breaking that down with someone who's a safe place for you, working with the subconscious mind and the body so that you have long-lasting effects, and learning how to come home to your body. And you do that through somatic work,
right?
When it comes to body image.
Hello, and welcome to my series where voices are heard. Today I'm here with Sarah, who is going to share with us her expertise about weight loss, body image, and Ozempic. So Sarah, I understand that you have someone in your family that is on Ozempic.
Yeah, I have someone super close to me, and they are on Ozempic. Unfortunately, they're never going to, like, address, like, why it is that they feel the need to, like, be super thin, right? But she has unfortunately lost complete muscle. She has no muscle at all. And one of the biggest, and I think the scariest things that I've seen from her is that she goes, like, weeks without bowel movements.
No.
I'm not kidding.
That's frightening.
She drinks Dr. Pepper, like, that's, like, her only thing. She doesn't drink any water. Oh. She doesn't drink no water.
She's not drinking water?
Not water. No water
That's got to be horrible for her body.
I know, it's very scary. And then she also eats very, very little. She, like, picks at her meals. And then has, like I said, no bowel movements at all. She has to take, like, 4 or 5 stool softeners and laxatives to even get any type of bowel movement.
Okay, that's really disturbing.
It's so scary.
Can I just tell you, like, that would freak me out.
It's scary.
And I mean, this might be TMI, but, like, I am a caregiver for my 92-year-old mother.
Yeah.
And, you know, whenever I take her to the doctor, that's, like, the first question she asks her.
Yeah.
And, every once in a while, I check in with my mom. I'm like, are you pooping, Mom?
Yeah, no, I think it's so important. This is, like, a way, like, your body's functioning.
Right, you have to eliminate.
Yes. And so, to me, like, it's such a scary, scary thing. My mom has stage 4 colon cancer with mets to the liver and lymph nodes. And so, I've completely changed the way she eats, and even, like, hydrate and the whole 9 years, give her all the minerals and stuff. And she has gone through over 12 rounds of chemo, and she hasn't lost anything. And to me, I'm so proud of that because she's literally started to change her diet, and, you know, she didn't get as sick during chemo and stuff like that. And so when I think of, like, people that are taking the Ozempic and having, like, those very big issues with their GI, that's, like, the number one sign that, like, something is not right, and it should be a full stop.
Right.
But I think this person's lost over probably 75 pounds at least. And they keep saying, like, oh, I'm almost at my goal weight, but then that goal weight keeps changing.
Oh, and didn't you say she's, like, all, like, wasted away to nothing?
Yes. So now her face is super sunken in, and a lot of loose skin, just absolutely no muscle.
Wow.
And she actually has a very hard time. She always blames it on something. She'll be like, oh, I had an energy drink and now my heart's racing. But
which, by the way, is, like, the worst thing you can put into your body.
Yes, absolutely. But we went on a hike and she had such a hard time even keeping up and throws up all the time.
So other than Ozempic, I mean, or I should say before she got on Ozempic, was she relatively healthy?
No, she's never been. She really struggled to work out, to have any type of movement. And I hear this a lot too, and I think the important thing is to find what movement feels best for you. It's okay if it's walking or whatever it is fine. But she didn't really want to do that. Chronic dieter, though. Always on a diet. Always chasing the next best thing. But I think a side note of kind of all of this is that she had someone very, very close to her tell her that if she ever gained weight again, because she used to be very heavy, that he would leave her, basically.
What a horrible thing to say.
Yes. And
was this her partner?
Like, yes, this is her partner.
Oh my gosh.
And so because of this, I think she's just always chasing, you know, that.
Well, and living with that fear. Yeah. I mean, how terrible is that?
It's very, very scary. And now we're seeing her just, like, essentially, like, waste away. And it's the scariest thing ever. And now that I'm thinking about it, I have a couple of family members that are doing the same exact thing. And this is what I'm saying, like, people will be like, okay, well, I'm thin now, so I'm healthy. But they're doing absolutely no health-promoting behaviors.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. You could be a skinny little person and smoke all day long.
Yes.
Like, how is that healthy?
Yes, exactly. And that's the other thing with her, right? Like, so my diet is probably 200 times better than her, right? I'm doing tons of health promoting techniques, and then she's thinner than me, right? But she has so much pain. She can't keep anything down. She doesn't have regular bowel movements. It's really heartbreaking to kind of see her go through this. And just like the mind struggle you can see in her, you know?
Yeah. Sarah, I want to ask you this because we've kind of alluded to it, but body image.
Yes.
Like, what do you have to say to women about body image?
It's the hardest thing. It's getting to that root cause of, like, why it is that you feel the way you do about your body. I think what happens so often is that we have this major disconnect within the mind and the body. And I always say, like, you have to come home to her, right? This disconnect happens because of something or multiple things that you kind of go through, and it just keeps pushing you further and further away. First, we have society, right? And then we have, you know, inner family, hearing a lot of language of, like, the diet talk. It reminds me of that girl that messaged me.
Oh, well, I want you to talk about that, if you would, please. Yes. Please share that with our viewers.
So, talking about body image, I had gotten a message, right? And it was this awful message from... It stemmed from a post I had made in a local group. And she went on to tell me that... Sarah,
would you just briefly say what your post was about?
Yeah. So I had made a post in our local community group saying, like... I had a post advertising my services, and someone commented on it, "This is a pyramid scheme, why are we allowing this?" And I was like, oh no, like... Someone thinks I want to make sure that I'm very clear that this is not what I do. I have a true licensed and insured business, and I have all these certifications. And before I could comment back, the comment was gone. So I was like, okay, I'll make a post about this. So I did. And in the post, I said, this is what I do. These are the certifications I have. And I'm a licensed and insured business. This is who I can help. And the post went viral in our little community.
Was it on your business page?
So I made
the group for the business, like other women businesses, right?
No. So I made it in the Whidbey Island community group.
Oh, okay.
From my business page.
I hate that page so much.
Do you?
Most vile people on that page.
It was scary. Sorry. No, don't be.
Oh.
It was definitely a scary time for me, for sure, because what I kind of noticed was, like, there was a lot of men commenting, and they're not my ideal target, so I kind of let some of that go. Right. But I still got some really, like, awful messages. And I, like, looking at it, she just went on to basically tell me that people were insulting me and attacking me and my qualifications because I'm fat. And that if I wanted to be taken seriously, then I should lose weight. And that, I think the kicker that kind of got it for me was what she said here. Please see a functional medicine practitioner who will treat the whole person with healthy nutrition and teach you what your practice evidently hasn't.
So she's making a complete assumption about you based on how you look.
Exactly.
Knowing nothing about you.
Nothing about me.
And how rude is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
To basically stalk you in a private message.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. And it wasn't so heartbreaking for me, but it just goes to show, like, back to the body image thing, right? She's a 70-year-old woman. Coming to my page, obviously taking a lot of time to scroll through and look at who I am and what I do, right? And it made me so sad for her family because, you know, if she feels comfortable talking to a complete stranger about this, you know how she's approaching her children, her grandchildren, right? And this is one of the biggest things that I see with women with body image issues. Their moms, their grandmas, their aunts, whoever in their family has made comments about their body, comments about their food. They see them constantly diet. And you see them, this is one of the big examples I always use on my page, is that you grow up and you're looking up to your mom, right? And you think that she's the most beautiful woman, right? Because she's your mom. And then you see her tugging on her clothes and dieting and making comments about her body, what do you think that that's going to make you feel about your body? You're seeing someone who you think is so perfect, that you love so deeply at a very young age, right? Say these things about herself, you're automatically going to assume some of that about yourself, right?
Sure.
And then you keep growing up, right? You're going through puberty, you gain a little weight, whatever. Then you hear people making comments about your body, right? My dad that adopted me, he made comments on my food. And that's how my eating disorder started, right? Immediately. Because I was like, you know, this is someone who's supposed to be a safe place for me, who's raising me, and they're making comments about how I look and what I'm eating, you know? And so that's one of the biggest things that I see with a lot of my clients going through body image issues is that it stems from something in the childhood and then it's reinforced by the society that they live in through high school. I mean, people can be mean.
And you know, how about people less judgment, more understanding?
Yeah, well, and it's very interesting when I think of like people in high school making comments and stuff like that. They're only making those comments because they've heard them somewhere else, right? Typically within their family. And then of course it's like that big cycle of like, you know, then, and having empathy for those people as well, because that's what they're hearing, that's what they're seeing as well. And so they're just, you know, saying it to other people, which causes harm and trauma and, you know, the whole 9 yards. So it's always getting to like the root of the issue and breaking that down with someone who's a safe place for you, working with the subconscious mind and the body so that you have long-lasting effects, and learning how to come home to your body. And you do that through somatic work.
Right.
When it comes to body image. The biggest thing that I always work on with my clients is those things. And then also unfollowing people who talk about diet, who talk about food, who talk about, you know, losing weight and fitting into a certain size. Once you kind of curate your social media feed to reflect people that are in bigger bodies, that are, you know, talking more about neutrality around food and things like that, you can start to kind of change your mindset as you're working on it as well. And that can help with a lot of body image. But yeah, a lot of the coaching I do, we talk about like confidence coaching and stuff like that. It's all about coming home to yourself.
Well, and feel free to mention your business or your website so people can find you and maybe work with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Sarah Brooke Berg. If you type that in pretty much anywhere, you'll find me. So I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, pretty much all the places. And then my website is the same. It's just www.sarahbrookeberg.com.
And it's Brooke with an E?
Brooke with an E.
Go find Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you. This has been enlightening.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for watching this incredible video. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Until next time, be well.